We got this from Citizen Free Press. Actually, Robbie mentioned it to us before the show. A clip from the Joe Rogan Experience where he says, quote, on the left, this want for war in Ukraine, this trust in the military-industrial complex. What happened to you guys? The best take on it was Trump. He said, I just want people to stop dying, and that is somehow controversial. Joe Rogan hit the nail on the head with the hammer with this one. I was thinking about this earlier. The left and the right switched. Totally switched. You got this Oliver Anthony guy playing the song about the working class, lamenting the rich corporate elites ripping off this country, ripping off the workers, and these wealthy Uber elites in big cities, the highest income earners in the country, demanding we pay their debts for college. Total inversion. Before Trump got elected, we viewed the Democratic Party as the party of the working class. Today, that is absolutely not true. Vox.com ran the story in 2016. The Democratic Party became the party of wealthy elites. The party switched, and now they claim you're right wing. It's like, okay, well, I'm anti-war. I'm pro-free speech. I'm pro-individual liberties. I oppose massive multinational corporations. Corporations, I think, are horrifying. Now, all of a sudden, the left, pro-big pharma, pro-military industrial complex, pro-war. They go, I'm not pro-war. I just think we should be giving...
Pro-censorship.
Pro-censorship. Right. All of these, it's a complete inversion of what the parties were when I was growing up.
Well, the most insidious thing about it is they do control every major institution of power. They do control the administrative state. They do control big pharma. They do control the entertainment industry and so on and so forth, Silicon Valley. But they're able to portray themselves as the perpetual, eternal victims. And that's how they're able to scapegoat Donald Trump as an elite, as the enemy, as someone who doesn't have the interests of the working class on their side.
I don't think so anymore. I think it's changing.
Absolutely is changing, and the paradigm has shifted considerably as a result of Donald Trump.
And Trump is doing better in the polls now relative to where he was back in 2019 compared to Biden.
Sure.
So he's actually now winning. It doesn't mean a lot because between now and election, we got a year and a few months. It's an eternity. But I think what's happening in my personal, I can only give you an anecdote. I have friends and family. Their friends and family, I'll go to dinner and I'll be like, having dinner with my friends, and then I'll see their family members. A year and a half ago, totally on board with the corporate narrative.
Yeah.
And we'd have these discussions, and I try to be very cordial. But I'm not here to rent anybody's parade. Look, we're just going to have some macaroni and cheese. We're going to have macaroni and cheese. I'm not going to talk about this stuff. But if they bring it up, I'm going to open the door. A year and a half later, what are the conversations like? Now they're moderate, anti-corporate narrative. Now they say things that have me going like, how did you go from there to, wow, all right. There are these really fascinating moments where after we talk and I show them like, actually, that wasn't true. Like, don't take my word for it. Like, here's a news story. They go, oh, I didn't realize that. And I'll be like, look, I'm not telling you what to think. Jeez. Now, a year later, they're like, I don't like Trump, but wow, did they lie to us?
Well, you look at Democrats in Congress. I mean, 20 years ago, when there were obviously major a lot of the political establishment was on lockstep with the Iraq war, but nothing in comparison to what you're seeing today with Ukraine. I mean, there were anti-war Democrats who voted against the war in Iraq, obviously Bernie Sanders. Now you look at his actions today. I mean, I don't think he's said anything critical about how the Biden regime is handling. They're basically signing over blank checks to the Ukraine, over $200 billion. I haven't heard a word of any Democratic congressman who was originally against the Iraq war criticize, what we're doing right now in the Ukraine. They're totally a uni party. They're one step, they're lockstep on the war issue. And they're obviously, just a few years ago, Bernie Sanders was the one criticizing the Koch brothers and their agenda on immigration, wanting open borders and so forth. He was very critical of that. Now, totally 180. You never hear him say a word about it anymore.
The world
or anyone.
He got the memo. He's not supposed to.
Absolutely.
The World Socialist website called Bernie Sanders a nationalist capitalist.
Yeah.
I'm like, wow.
Would we be at war if Trump was in office with Ukraine? I mean, with Russia?
Not at all.
You think it would have been
the reason why? We weren't at war with Russia and the Ukraine while he was president. I take him on faith. I know a lot of people don't like it when he says, I would have brokered peace within 24 hours. I'll get peace within 24 hours. But, I think under Donald Trump, we had the most world peace, in generations of any president. And now since he's left politics, it's created a vacuum there. And now we have the most, chaos in the global situation and the global scene that we've seen in decades. I mean, now we're actually talking about World War III